And welcome to Force Friday here in the Bacon Bunker. This is Big Bacon's Collection, and I'm your host, Big Bacon. Today we're going to be looking at the Red Box release, Original Mandalorian. Although now we know him as Din Djarin. As always, we're going to look at the accessories. We're going to look at the figure, check the articulation, get him geared up, and pop him on the shelf. So, this version came with the sidearm. Sculpt on this has a very Western style feel to it. Got a painted handle, nicely detailed. Got a good sort of metallic gunmetal gray look going to it. Paint on the handle isn't perfect, but you know what? It's better than nothing. He comes with his nice rifle. So the prongs are done in this nice metallic silver. The long barrel and sight is done in that metallic gray. Actual firing chamber mechanism, trigger, all that stuff, also in this silver. And then the stock's done in this sort of hodgepodge of brown colors. And it looks like mine has a small melt point here for some reason. A little bit of additional brown. I don't know if that's additional brown paint or if that rubbed off from somewhere else. Same over here. I'm assuming it's meant to make the stock look older. So, let's check out the figure, shall we? So, the helmet is done in this sort of silvery color, but it's got a lot of tarnishing points on it. Gives it a very aged look. Visor is that typical T visor we see in most Mandalorian helmets, done in a nice gloss black. He comes with the plastic cape from hell. Although on this version, it works for him, honestly, because there's not a whole lot going on under this. He's got his back armor, which is pitted and aged. Got a hole here in the strap as well as in the shoulder, and we'll get to that in a little bit. So this armor is like recycled parts of other armor. Like the back of the hands, those look like shore trooper armor, as does this shoulder pauldron, which is dinged, dented, the paint has scraped off. Chest armor is completely different than those, but once again, got a lot of wear and tear to it. These things beat the hell and back. The gauntlets actually match in color. The belt comes across and has a shoulder strap to it. It's got a holster with a sort of leathery type pattern to it. Got his thermal detonators on his belt here. Shells just kind of, energy shells just sort of split up all over the body. Mismatched thigh armor. One knee dart launcher. The other one looks like the top of a boot. An Imperial boot, nonetheless. Got more shells there. Just a tiny band of armor here. Pouch. Boots themselves are just, well, they're typical boots. All in all, the sculpting is great. As far as paint goes, I don't see a whole lot of mishaps. The hands are always an issue trying to get painted perfectly when you do fingerless gloves. So it looks like I got some chipped paint over here on this hand. I did come through and paint in different buckles and buttons on the belting. All in all, the look of this figure is great and very true to what you saw in the character in the first part of season 1. Articulation. This is a helmet on top of a head. I don't know what head is under here. Probably one of the generic Boba heads, clone heads, whatever they call them. It is a ball joint on top of a hinge. So, and it looks like the neck is also articulated. Yes, the neck is also on a ball joint. So looking up, you get that far. Down, you get that far. Got some great tilt. Rotation. Arms. Now, the way these shoulder pads work, they're glued in at the bottom, so as you raise the arm, it goes up onto the actual torso piece. Arms come up to right around 90. They do rotate all the way around. Don't believe there's any kind of butterfly joint in here. Nope. Single jointed pinless elbow. Comes up beyond 90, but not by much. Rotation at that elbow. Hands rotate. Left hand has a horizontal hinge. Right hand has a vertical hinge. Torso articulation is underneath this overlay piece. So you get some back. You get a little bit of crunch. Some tilt. And rotation. So yeah, this guy will hula hoop. Legs kick forward only as far as the armor plate allows it to. Kicks to the side that far. Back just a little. This you get a little bit more range because that armor plate sits a little lower. Thigh cuff for rotation. You have a double jointed pinned knee. It's got great range to it. I love the fact that they have this on the middle part of this. So if I wanted to, I could okay, with the thigh sitting the way it does, you really can't get a good kneeling position with him with that extended, but foot hinges back that far, comes forward that far, front facing pen for rocker. Now, remember that hole in the shoulder? Well, if you take this magical thing and you find that peg there, and you line up the holes, you can actually peg the rifle into the back. Now it does cause the armor to set really high. You do it the other way, and it sits really high up there, but the cape does set a little more flush. So for our display, we're going to pop the blaster into the holster. Close that if you can. There we go. And then I think we're going to now these hands are not soft at all. And I imagine this is where all the wear and tear on my hand has come from, if I remember correctly. Come on, baby. I think I figured out where those paint mishaps on the rifle came from. So we're going to try wedging it in this way, using it to open the hand a little bit more. And there we have it. A little twist will get the trigger in there. goodness, that was a lot more work than it should have been. Looks like I'm starting to run out of stands. That one's a little shallow. What about this side? Oh, much better. So there we have them. Thin jar and geared up and ready to go on the shelf. So let's get them there. And there you have them. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you all next time. Oh, and yes, these are the Bandai model kit droids, because they scale much nicer than anything Hasbro's come out with. So, once again, thanks for tuning in. Bye.